Google recently went through one of its biggest updates to date called the Google Core Update. And although this was more of an update for the SEO and organic side of things, it still has a huge impact on your Google Ads results. So what am I talking about exactly? Well, if you look right here on my screen, we can see right from Google's own blog website that they have released this little article which basically says that they're now using new ways to tackle spammy, low quality content on search. And search does not just mean organic search results, it also means things like Google search results or even Google shopping ads. So this has great potential to negatively or positively impact your Google Ads scale right now. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty details of this article, let's take a step back to understand why this update was even done. So for a long period of time, if you have been a Google Ads user, you know that they have been going very heavy on making the Google Ads platform, or just the Google platform in general, a better place for its users. That means better quality product listings for shopping ads, or just better quality brands that are using their platform to sell things. I mean, that's the only reason why almost every single new ad account you potentially launch ends up getting suspended right off the bat. Or even, doesn't matter if you have been in business for 5-10 years, your merchant center can literally get suspended, or has probably gotten suspended at least once within the last 2 years. It's because Google is taking their policies, Google is taking high quality content very seriously. So this update right here, it's like an expansion on what they already had been establishing these past few years. And in all reality, this is done only as a way to deal with spammy, low quality content, or just to get rid of those spam bots that are all over Google spamming random websites, random pages, or even these scamming e-commerce brands, which are on Google, but they're not really paying too much attention to things because they don't care. They're here to spam and scam people and to get a quick buck, which is obviously not a good thing. But with all of this, there's a few things that start to happen. Now, if we look right here, if we start going over the article, there's two main goals that are going to come about from this kind of change. First one is that there's now going to be improved quality ranking, which means the quality of the search listings, which are actually ranking in the front, they're going to be much higher quality. They're going to be much more relevant to what you are essentially searching for. But that also means that overall, there will be lesser number of searches available for you to choose from. So if there were like 50 before, there might be only 30 now, or maybe 20 now, because majority of these pieces of content have been spammy, or they've not been high quality, which again goes to show that quality is what Google wants from now on, especially for your ad side of things. But in addition to that, the second thing that this is coming about, and the outcome of this, is that there's now new and improved spam policies. So as it says right here, they're trying their best to keep the low quality content out of search. Things like expired websites that are getting now used as spam repositories, or maybe other spam related things. They want to keep those away from users, and this is kind of the easiest way to do that, because ultimately all of these things will end up making it higher quality because of the lesser number of low quality unoriginal results. And this is very important, unoriginal, especially for e-commerce brands, because I know it's very easy to copy things from other people. It's easy to copy descriptions, it's easy to copy policy pages, but in Google's eyes, now that counts as unoriginal. So the moment you do that, you now become eligible to potentially face Google's wrath and get suspended, or have worse things happen, such as getting fully blacklisted from Google's platform itself, because Google is going very strict with fighting these things. And then it goes on to say how for decades they've been relying on spam fighting systems, spam policy systems, etc. But because things are now getting more smarter because of AI and all of these things, they're also improving their targets. They're also improving their own systems to kind of get rid of all of these spam related websites and other things. So it's important now for you to understand this in detail so that you understand how all of this affects Google Ads results. Well, I'm gonna tell you all of this. First things first, you need to understand that if your Google Ads campaigns are not optimized now, meaning search ad copies, or meaning shopping ad listings and their product titles, their product images, etc., if they're not optimized, if they're not relevant, it's going to now start getting looked at as spammy. And Google's AI, Google software has become very strong. It can easily tell between spam that's done by ChatGPT and a real human. That just means you now need to up your game. You now need to maybe invest in some help if you're not sure how to do it properly, which, by the way, if you run a brand doing $1 million a year and you want to scale to multi 7 figures with Google Ads, go onto my website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a free call with me to see essentially how we can work together and make that happen. But you need to go above and beyond with your title creations and just your overall product listings, as well as any other campaign type you add on Google. Because if you have an unoptimized search campaign, even for example, that can potentially destroy your entire Google Ads account and take a negative toll on the type of traffic you're currently getting. But in addition to making sure everything's optimized, you need to ensure everything's as relevant as possible with the right kind of search engine optimized keywords. SEO and just search engine optimization in general is now becoming super important, because use the wrong keyword and you get labeled as a spammy website, which is obviously not an ideal situation to be in. But third and most important thing, do proper copywriting. If you are going to write certain ads for your search listings, if you have team members doing YouTube ads, you need to ensure there's proper copy in there, because the moment that your copy goes bad is the moment you go under Google's radar for these new policies and these new kind of approaches for the algorithm. And when that happens, again, keep in mind this algorithm that's looking at all of these things, it's a robot. It's not a real human being that's going through everything one by one and making sure it's real or it's not real. So you need to cater your entire approach for this robot by ensuring there's no trigger words within your product listings, descriptions, titles, etc., and that you are, again, using things which are only relevant to what you actually sell. But long term, if you're a good brand, if you've been doing good service, providing a good landing page experience, etc., and you are a quality brand overall, this should not negatively impact you. In fact, it should actually help you, because this is getting rid of all of your bad competitors who are not doing these things, who don't really care about the quality. They're rather much go about the abrupt method where they're trying to do 5-10 different things at once, and they're using something I call the shotgun method, where they're just trying to do a bunch of different things and just hope something works. So keep your quality up, keep focusing on the few things that matter. And again, if you need a little bit of extra help with all of this and you do $1 million a year, go onto my website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a free call with me to see essentially how we can work together and make that happen. But check out this video right here on my newest product testing strategy, which can help you scale your brand to multi 7 figures.